Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of A Let's Find Out. I'm your host Arnold, and today, I got sort of a bone to pick with people, more so to say, older white people, and in my experiences in being in America, I should say it, because this is the only place I've known to live in this country. I've seen some crazy things on the internet and online all over the world, just to see white folks interactions, older white folks, or just white folks period interactions with different things. Like I've seen I've seen white people wrestle with alligators with their bare hands. Not only I've seen white people grab snakes, and I'm talking huge snakes. I'm talking boas, constrictors, type of snakes that could kill without regard at any size of a man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen I've seen white folks wrestle with sharks in the water, in the ocean. I mean, like not personally, but I've seen it like on the internet. I've seen videos of these things. I've seen white folks hug bears or lions, shit, tigers, without fear, just to go into just all knowing, just going in there and hugging tigers, lions, bears, gators, snakes, all things that we've been known as a group of people to be afraid of. I've seen white folks have no fear of having interactions with these different animals or these different species on the earth, you know, and it's it's shocking to me, to say the least. Like you see it and you like, as a black man, I'm gonna say what all black people say when we see it, we be like, y'all crazy. We don't just look at it and be astounded. We look at it as if y'all crazy, but at the same time, we are astounded. Like, how? How do y'all do it? At the same time, when I say that, I want to list off a few cities, a few places here in America before I get into my topic. You know, I know it's kind of ranging all over the place, but bear with me for a second. I'm gonna list off a few places. Hot Springs, Arkansas. Next, I got Greenville, Mississippi. Next, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Yeah. The next, I have Alexandria, Louisiana. Next on this list, Bessemer, Alabama. Before I get to the next one, I know y'all are wondering, why is he listing off random cities? What is he doing? Just bear with me for a second so I can get to what I'm getting to, okay? But I know that's what y'all wondering, so don't think I've strayed far. No, I understand it. But next I have Lake Charles, Louisiana. After Lake Charles, I got Monroe, Louisiana. Damn, Louisiana, got a lot of these in here. I got Jonesboro, Arkansas. Another Arkansas in here. Once again, I got Danesville, Illinois. Next on the list, Vallejo, California. After Vallejo, I got Charleston, West Virginia. Uh, After that, I got East Point, Georgia. After East Point, Georgia, I got Mediterranean, Mississippi. Shout out to everybody out there. Biloxi, Mississippi. A lot of southern states I see on here. Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, a little bit more northern, eastern. Pueblo, Colorado. Sorry if I misconstrued that or said that wrong. I'm just naming off what I see here. I'm gonna let y'all know why I'm naming these off. Just give me a second. Desert Hot Springs, California. After that, I got Springfield, Ohio. After Springfield, I got Dayton, Ohio. After Dayton, what we got? Lima, Ohio. I probably said that wrong too, but don't hold me. Hold me steady. I think that's the last one on my list. That's the top 20. And y'all ask, why do I name those 20 cities and states due to one fact? First, I'm going to get into, I know y'all wondering, like, so why did he talk about white people in generally wrestling or handling dangerous animals without fear? And why did he name those 20? I believe that was 20 cities and states that I named. And I know y'all wondering why those 20 cities and states were the names that I picked. Reason why I picked those 20 cities and states, and why I also was saying I've seen white people handle dangerous animals, critters, and all that other S without fear, is because recently in Kansas City, Missouri, a man of named Andrew Lester, 84 years old, shot a young man named Ralph Yarl in the head, not once but twice. And the reasoning to his reasoning behind why he shot Ralph was he rang his doorbell. Now, I'm not sure if he gave reasoning to why he shot him, but I'm pretty sure the reason that he's going to give is because he was afraid. Now, back to the reason in which I was talking about white people handling dangerous animals, critters, and all that other stuff that's roamed the earth. They handle those things without fear, without weapons, without a care, right? But yet, you're afraid of a young 16-year-old black boy ringing your doorbell, thinking that he would be dangerous. With that being said, I've also named 20 cities and 20 cities and states, right? And I know that one reason y'all like, so why'd you name the 20 cities and states? Those 20 cities and states were the top 20 cities and states that were home invasions and burglaries. Now, reason why I named those 20 cities and states because not one of the 20 cities and states were Kansas City, Missouri. I don't even think any of the states, now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe any of the 20 states that I've named was even Missouri. And they might, a few of the states were the same, but we're going by the top 20 percentage of robberies, burglaries. So if there's a young man, regardless of his skin color, let's just say that, there's a young man or a woman or a person ringing your doorbell and you're afraid that this person would be trying to rob you or trying to do you harm. Now, I'm not saying that crime doesn't happen in Kansas City, Missouri. Honestly, that is a crime-ridden state. Like it's probably top 10 for crime, but I don't think burglary is one of the crimes. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I've named the 20 places in the country that burglary, robbery, home invasions is a problem. And you don't live in none of the states I've listed, but yet you're afraid that a young man, African American man, was ringing your doorbell. So you shot him in the head. Now, with that also being said, not only did you shoot him in the head once, could have been one time, could have been a general reaction where you just letting off shots and you could possibly say you're afraid. I let off a warning shot and just mistakenly struck. But to shoot a person twice after what I've read is he's fallen down. You shot him twice. Luckily, um, he was he wasn't killed, but but it's still sad to see that something like this is to happen. And not only is that sad to see that it was to happen after you shot him, this young man had ran, this young boy ran, right? And wasn't able to get help from anybody until he ended up reaching somebody, and the only way they said they would help him if he was to lay down on the ground, as if he's not already a victim of a gunshot wound or bleeding profusely from his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too hard to see a gunshot wound when you see a gunshot wound. Like, if you see a person shot in the head, there's not much more you could that they could do to you when this person is bleeding from the head. But with that being said, I want to understand, like, why is it certain people? I don't want to put all white people in this bracket of having this fear of black people, because I am friends with a lot of people from different cultures and different religions, different backgrounds than myself. But the crazy part is you see a lot of this with the elders in the white community, right? People who are 80 years. This man was 84 years old. I think his name Andrew, whatever the hell his last name was. You know, this man, it was not a young man, you know, but you see it a lot with people in his age group and people from his generation, which is the weird part to me, because people from his generation were the most violent against people of other uh then I'm not even gonna say other just I'm gonna just say against black folks. You know, like back in those days, like it wasn't many different cultures here other than black and white. We now, within the last, I want to say 30 years, maybe have cooperate uh gathered other people from other cultures into America. I mean, like, we've always been a collective pot of different cultures, but just recently is when we just started to notice them. I mean, like, white people have been racist since forever, and I know they might be like, we ain't the only ones that's racist, but which came first, man, the chicken or the egg? So with me saying that, I'm saying it to say this: why is it people of that age group are so afraid or so destructive towards people of other descendants of, like, more certainly black people? Like, what's your issue? You know, like, everything that you said that black people are or black people represent, we've proven to be wrong. Every lie that you was taught due to the color of our skin, due to where we from, were you telling us that we weren't civilized people, has really been proven to be wrong. I don't want to get into the whole specifics of it. I will if I need to. Like, we gonna just hold that for right now, because if I feel that I need to explain it, I'll explain it. But what I'm saying right now is we see it a lot with people older than us, like in them 80s, them late 70s. Like, we see y'all to be the most destructive or the most violent against people that don't look like you. And my brain, I'm like, why is that? Why do they act like that? I mean, like, we do have people that's in our age group or a little bit older, Karens and the Todds, as I like to say, that do the racist stuff. You know, I ain't really worried about that. But I'm saying, like, when we see these people that like to pretend as if, oh, the hatred towards people that look different, it's always old people. Like, and y'all know better than that. This ain't like no new thing where it's like y'all just found out about black folks, or y'all just found out about brown people, or y'all just found out about Asian people. I don't know what color to call them. But why is it that y'all act like that when you know everything that you were taught, or everything that you claim to know is a lie? You know we don't come from savage people. And to be honest, like my ancestors was the ones that taught your ancestors how to wash their ass. So how how in your right mind do you feel like I come from a savage people and you've known these facts. You know the facts. You know who taught who how to do what. You know who did what first. I really hate to get in this specifics because a lot of people feel like, are you trying to brag and try to act like this type of people better than these type of people? I'm really not trying to do that. All I'm saying is you 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 treat people as if you're better than people, but then when people display the facts to you, then you want to come crying and acting like, oh, you acting like you better than somebody. No, we just telling you the truth. You going everything that you're doing to another group of people is based off of a lie. So with that being said, when I tell you the truth, now you offended. Now you feel slighted in a type of way where you feel like somebody doing you wrong when you could have been doing the right thing the whole time. I wouldn't even have to tell you this shit if you wasn't acting the way you acting. But I see it is what it is, so we gonna just call it a spade a spade. So with that being said, I want to know, why is it so late that we finding out this information that this young man was shot in the head by this old, I don't even want to give him a right. I got so many different colorful words that I want to call him. If y'all know me, I got a lot of different words I want to call him, but I'm gonna try to keep it subtle. And I ain't gonna keep y'all for too much longer. I'll probably last for about maybe 10 more minutes, maybe less than that. But but why are we finding out this so late? Is my real reaction to it. Like why is this not top of the morning news? Like, and I hate for it to have to go that route where it's like we always have to talk about something negative. But in the country we live in right now, there's not much positive to talk about. So if we are going to talk about the negative, let's talk about the important negatives. Like why we wait? Why I think it was 5 days after this happened that this become top of the news, right? Every other day, if I do watch the news, we seeing something stupid like Kim Kardashian cut her hair, or I don't even know if that was news, but you know, if she did it, that would be the first thing on the news. Beyonce's concert tickets, uh, or something dumb in that sense where it is really not important, but you hear about this so late, where it's like, why is this not something that we looking at early? And it makes me to believe it get your conspiracy thoughts get to clicking. You know, you like what they trying to distract us from. I don't want people to think I'm like this conspiracy theorist, but I do be thinking like that because it's like if this if y'all knew this for this long, y'all would have been said it. Y'all ain't gonna just something you just keep in the chamber just because you want. Well, let's hold it until such and such happens. You know what I'm saying? Like where they was remember when they were doing a thing with Hillary Clinton's um case and she had the hearing, and then all of a sudden you see the thing of Jeffrey Epstein's trial comes up and you like, hey, what happened to Hillary? You know, and that's what I feel like with this. Luckily, Ralph is, I'm not going to say he's okay, but he survived these shots. He's still alive to tell his side of the story and tell us what happened, where we can give our own assessment to it. Hopefully, he comes back and he's just the same or even better than he was. I mean, it's going to be hard to come back better than you was when you get shot in the head twice. But as long as you alive, you able to talk, you able to breathe on your own, and you able to give us some kind of background on what happens. Like we give two shits about what happens to this old man. I think his name was Andrew. Let me get his name right. Let me check real quick. I believe his name was Andrew, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, Andrew Lester. Luckily, hopefully, we get him to receive. We get justice for Ralph against Andrew Lester, and I mean, like, he needs. I mean, he is 84 years old, so might as well give him life if you're gonna give him any time. Lock him up for the rest of what he can consider life, and anybody whom supports him if what we all know happened. But apparently, Ralph was going to pick up his two twin brothers, knocked on the wrong door, and old man Andrew comes to the door, shoots Ralph in the head. due to the fact that he rang the wrong doorbell. All I'm asking is, why are you so afraid of black people when in your city robbery is not even one of the top priorities? I'm not trying to say black people don't commit crimes in your city. Clearly, I said that earlier. Like, it's a crime-ridden city, but the crime in which you most likely afraid of doesn't naturally happen in your city as a top 20 crimes in the United States of America. So what are you really afraid of? You're not really afraid. You just, to me, and I'm just speaking on my own thoughts and not even facts. I'm just saying, to me, I don't feel like you did this thing because you were afraid. I feel like you did it just because you felt that you could, you know? And if we were to think the same way, if anybody was to act the way that if black, let me just say that if black people was to just be like start busting caps at white folks just because we were afraid that something might pop off anywhere, it wouldn't be a place that you could go that minorities wouldn't shoot at white folks. And I'm not saying that to sound, I'm serious. Like, from all the places that Caucasian Americans, white Americans, European Americans, whatever the hell y'all want to call them, in all the places that we know them to do crazy things out of the ordinary or things that we thought were life threatening, there would be no place where we wouldn't shoot first if we were to behave in that manner. I mean, from movie theaters to grocery stores to churches, from walking down the street, from work to work, there would be no place where we wouldn't behave, where we were shooting at y'all. If we acted in that sense where we feel like, oh, we afraid for our life because we see a white person, because we group y'all all into the same category as every white person that we saw. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't feel like there would be any place that we couldn't behave that way. I would hate for us to behave that way. That's why I hate when I see y'all behave that way, because what are you afraid of? I've seen you motherfuckers hug, excuse my, whew, I've seen y'all hug grizzly bears. You couldn't find a black person in America. I don't think you could find a black person on this earth. And if you did, we disclaimed him or her a long time ago. You couldn't find somebody that looked like us. Y'all wrestle alligators and sharks, not to save your life, but for fun. Y'all handle snakes with no equipment, just your bare hands. You hugging and kissing and rolling around with lions and tigers and all this with no regard. But when you see a person that's black, now it's time to fear for your life. I just want to know, could I look through y'all lenses and tell me, what do y'all see when y'all see black folk? Why are y'all so afraid? I don't really think y'all afraid. I honestly think that y'all just evil. And not all, but the ones that do these things, you're just evil. There's nothing that you can explain to me why you act the way you act when you see a person that is black. They never rhyme a little bit, don't they? But for real, like when you see somebody that look like me and that's your reaction, you're not you're not acting out of fear. You acting out of pure malice. You If you understand what I'm saying, because if a 16-year-old white boy was to knock at my door and I feel any kind of fear, before I open the door, why not just ask what you want? I'm not gonna just open the door and open fire. Like, even if I do feel fear, he knock at the door. Who is it? Jacob. Let's just say Jacob. What you want? What you here for? Oh, I'm looking for my little brother. I think I ain't you can have this entire conversation through the door without opening the door. So to open the door and to open fire just lets me know you did this out of pure malice. You didn't do this for any other reason than that. And I know a lot of people probably listen to this and they like, man, you reaching. I'm not reaching because I have a son. And I'm gonna let you know this right now. Something like that this any young man or any young lady that I hold dear to me, I don't even care what color they is. If I feel something happened to them where you did it out of pure malice, in this instance where you did this to Ralph, if it was one of mine, I'm gonna turn your house into cottage cheese. I don't give a damn who in there, because you ain't give a damn that my child was at the door. So why should I care about who's inside of your door? That's another problem that I have to all you young guys that's or young people that, oh, I'm a step, I step for mine. Y'all love to be violent against one another. We always had these problems. I ain't just talking about black on black crime. I'm talking about crime in general and people that be claiming that they about that life. Y'all do so much despair to one another, so many things to one another. But when something like this happens, y'all quiet. Y'all rep the block, y'all rep the neighborhood, y'all rep all of it, the city, all that. But when somebody who don't deserve something like this have something like this happen to them, you're silent. Why is that? Tell me. You let me know why you silent. What happened to y'all being steppers? You from that hood? You know this young boy. He from your hood. So why you ain't stepping? Why this old man house ain't turned into cottage cheese? You know what I'm saying? Swiss cheese. Why he ain't got holes in his doors? See, like back when I was growing up, this would never happen. I mean, if it did happen, something's gonna happen in retaliation. And I'm not really advocating violence, but if you claiming you're stepping, you ain't stepping for something that's worth stepping for, stop stepping. Sit your ass down somewhere. Because you do harm to only people that look like you. But you don't do no justice to when something happens to somebody that look like you. But then at the same time, there be a lot of y'all. When something happen to y'all want the whole neighborhood to march for y'all. Y'all want people to stand up, all this injustice, such and such got put in. Nah. See, this is like we got so many different problems here with these different situations. And I don't want to keep going into this. I just want to say, um, for Ralph, hopefully I pray that you get better, man. And I hope things get better for you for 84-year-old Andrew. Let me get his name one more time. Andrew Lester, 84-year-old Andrew Lester. I hope you get the death penalty. You deserve it. You ain't shit. And I've been trying not to cuss a lot lately on here, but you deserve everything that I'm saying. You ain't shit. Because I guarantee you, if you were walking down the street with no weapon and you seen young Ralph walking, I've always said this about people like you. You wouldn't look him in the eye. You would walk with your head down. So why do you feel like that gun shit is dead to me? Like, are you tough because you got something that could fire? But if you were walking unarmed and he unarmed, you wouldn't say anything. You wouldn't look him in the eye. You would walk with your head down. So Ralph, I hope you get better, and Andrew, I hope you die behind them bars somewhere, cause you ain't shit. And anybody that think that you did the right thing ain't shit either. I'm just gonna put it straight like that. So you gonna end it on that note. This has been another episode of A Let's Find Out, and let's find out if Ralph get better. See y'all later, man. Since nobody wanna